time.
Subscribe to Varg Vikerns on his YouTube channel, The
subscribe.
Thulian Perspective.
Vickers! Oh, man.
Oh, welcome to the WLTM show thing. We are going to talk about 4 albums as usual. I'm Jack. We got Cameron here.
My name is Cameron in Norwegian.
We got Cruz.
Menu Zovu Cruz.
we got Alex.
What's good, guys?
Miyamo Alex.
Yeah. Ja.
Fucking Menu Zobu. I'm surprised you have that shit remembered.
It only took him 20 weeks.
Well, he didn't say it, so I had to say it.
Before we continue, Jack, you gotta write up the predictions.
Oh yeah, predictions.
I meant to do that beforehand, but I'm just now going to rate my albums on Rate Your Music.
Oh, it's a good thing you didn't do it before because I would have
after.
spoiled to it because I went on. I looked up every album on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so I made the astute observation that we should probably wait until during or after the podcast.
Even though technically one album was ruined for me because Cameron had previously already rated it, but
yeah,
that was one that I expected anyway. That was less of a surprising than something else may have been. But yeah, we had 4 albums this week. This is kind of a different setup than the last week because we had 4 albums last week too. Happy Record Store Day to everybody at home.
Yeah. We did actually go do Record Store Day. It was pretty. Pretty.
Wait, when was
Pretty
it?
fucking lame.
It was today.
Was it Thursday?
It was today. Or the 13th, so Saturday.
Oh damn! I walked in a record store on Thursday.
No.
So,
I mean, so they might have had actually they would probably have had early shit out because they put all this shit out on Record Store Day. But yeah.
Yeah, the one thing we were looking for, they didn't have it.
I only have a cassette player, so
What were you
I
guys
can
looking
buy this
for?
shit anyways.
What was on your
the greatest
radar?
God-fearing album that's ever come out.
Yeah.
The Teal album.
Teal
Oh, the Teal album.
I was about to ask you, is it the
They
Blue album?
Was it sold out?
I
Or
was
did it
close.
not come to your store?
I don't know. It might have been sold out, but I don't know who'd buy that.
I didn't even see the Weezer tag in the boxes. I think they just didn't order it.
I'm gonna look for the Teal album.
I feel like that
I'll
one
try
had
to find it.
didn't that one have a more limited run than some of the other stuff?
It's
Probably.
only
Wasn't
come out
that-
today.
No. What I mean is so some of them have 10,000 copies that come out today. I'm pretty sure the Teal album only had a couple thousand, and then even then I think it was further subdivided to only certain places even ordered it. Anyway,
I'm about to walk in
my
3 record
predictions
stores
are
tomorrow and ask if they have the Teal
super,
album.
Honestly, I so don't know, but these predictions are just garbage, and I don't even think they're worth.
I can predict my own
I
ratings.
still want to hear them so I can flame you.
Yeah, it's very important. It's very important because this is, if anything, this is an exercise in you getting to know the rest of us better, and vice versa.
Yeah, sure.
Make sure you put yourself on the predictions list too. So
I'm not predicting myself.
So you can at least get some of them right. Anyway, who wants to start first? Week 20.
The big 2-0. Double digits.
I guess I'll start. I guess I don't know, unless there's.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think there's any hard.
I would say if there's a spicy pick this week, yours is it.
Do you really think so?
Oh yeah, I would agree.
I think if we're gonna talk about spice, I think mine's the lemon pepper chicken of the bunch. Compared to some of the ghost peppers and fucking Carolina Reapers we got in this week.
I don't even know. There's
I mean,
one thing.
I'd say PUP is like a jalapeno.
There's one of those jalapenos where it's fine, but then you get the last bite and all this in the
PUP is a
last
green
bite.
pepper, guys. The fuck you think that ain't spicy at all?
What you mean?
Nah, I'd never listened to music like PUP until this week. Anyway, so my album this week was Loon or Lun. I think I said Lun for the first 2 years I listened to this album, and then I realized now that it's probably Loon, like lunatic, like the song on the album. Anyway, by
That's the worst song on the album.
by band Destiny Potato.
It's a really great band name.
From it's like one dude went to America to go to music school, and then like went back to like the former Yugoslav republics and got a bunch of chicks to join the band with him. So it's David Maxim Mishik, and then originally it was Alexandra Radosavljevic, and also somebody named Alexandra, and they just did vocals and stuff. And then he basically kept getting rid of people until he found a girl that he liked the sound of their voice in. And this band was formed in like 2010, waited 4 years to put out this album, only put out this album and hasn't done shit since. I think I definitely got this album.
Probably got his kidney stolen.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, well, because they're Serbian and Montenegronese.
Oh yeah, you have one for each kidney.
Yeah, I don't know what the and Macedonian, I guess. Oh, that's what it was. So this is something I found out because I had never actually researched this band at all until I had to try to figure out what the fuck they were to explain. So the original vocalist for the band, who I think is still the vocalist on this album, not 100% sure, but of the two original vocalists, one of them was like the second place on the former Yugoslav Republic's version of American Idol. So that's how they got her in. And then the other one like wasn't, but I think the other one is the one who actually ended up staying. I don't know. But this album's a hard rock / djent album.
Djent?
With fucking djent album.
With female vocals and the occasional female growl, which was something I wasn't ready for. This is the kind of thing where like this isn't actually music I listen to, but this is like.
Wait, what did I just do?
Like I would listen to this album. Like prior to me listening to this album, never listened to this. Like I never listened to anything like this, and after listening to it, I haven't really gone out of my way to find any like, female vocally forward djent and fucking like I guess metal music.
Metal music.
It's like if a symphonic metal band kept all like the moving pieces and just gave up on the stuff that makes symphonic metal. Because like you just don't really see a lot of like, I don't know, it's like you don't see a female vocalist in metal unless it's like symphonic metal or it's The Gimmick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of being artsy, they just decided to like.
Yeah, it was just like the one dude wrote everything.
An album.
It's like the one dude wrote everything, and when he went to record, like the mic was gone, or like that he couldn't figure out how to get the mic, so he had like some other girl just do it for him. Like that's the kind of vibe. But I think it's a pretty good album. I like it. It's like a 7, maybe. Like this is an album that I won't listen to for a while, and I'll be like, "Damn, Destiny Potato is such a good band name." And then I listen to it. I like some of the riffs, and I like a lot of the vocals because I think she's got a fine voice. I don't actually like djent music that much, if I'm being honest, but I think this is a lot less djent forward than some other shit ends up being.
We're gonna pronounce that word every incorrect way possible.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about djent music anyway, but.
You can't say djent music.
But I'd be interested to hear what you guys thought.
Yeah, I myself have never listened to a.
I'm also gonna put this album.
Before.
I'm putting this album in the category of albums where the first track is misleading.
Oh yes, that is very true.
Yeah, it's a little.
Because the first track could be a hip hop fucking track or something.
Could be a lot of things.
It's not. It just goes right into it. My favorite song on the album, for the record, is the last song, "Addict."
Yeah.
Partly because that's where the album ends, but.
Don't shit talk your own album like that.
It's a long song, dude.
Yeah, that song didn't need to be that long, but she was dropping niggas.
Yeah, I like the riff. That's like probably my favorite riff on the album.
Dog, I don't know what riff means, but sure, it was my favorite riff also.
Yeah, we're just riffing right now, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm riffing.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff on djent music.
DJ.
It's my boy in the trees.
We're quickly running out of new things.
I have a new one.
We'll save it.
Yeah, save it anyway.
Save it.
No,
Fuck.
I hope this album isn't Loon, because Lunatic is the worst song, like, by far.
I just think I've been calling it Lun for like 3 years without even really
I'm
thinking
gonna
about
be
the
calling
fact
it Lun for a hot.
Lun's just a fucking like. Just imagine like, what's an album you can recommend? I got this band Destiny Potato. This album fucking Lun.
Yeah, I like
sounds
Lun because I have no clue what the fuck it means, and
It
it's better
sounds like
that
a
way.
word from a former Yugoslav republic.
Mm-hmm.
Or like their currency or something.
Their currency.
Like maybe that's how much the album cost. It was a 1 Lun.
1 Lun.
Maybe 10 Luns.
I fuck with Lun. 10 Lun. 100
Okay,
Lun.
I actually
Million Lun.
I actually liked Lunatic. I don't know. It was like I liked that it was.
Which one was Lunatic?
That song is pure garbage. It's the
the one
one
that
with like
has,
the circusy instrument in there that like
Oh,
grooves it.
oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. There's like at least they do this thing where they want to have influences from like gypsy music that's kind of pertinent to their culture, but they only do it at like the beginning of the ends of their songs. There's only like I guess Lunatic is like pretty much the only song that has like I don't know.
It's
There's
not-
one song that has an accordion in it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the
one
accordion.
And
Well, I don't
like
know.
that song is kind of like the feeling, even though the instrument doesn't play throughout the entire song, like the feeling of it, like the way the song is written has like I don't know how to describe it. It's like I feel like the
It feels Eastern
particular-
European.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it has like an Eastern European melody essentially.
Yeah.
But
I would like it.
it wasn't good. That was the worst song. That was also like one of the only songs that actually just straight up featured like Dirty Growling. I think it was basically the only one. And that fucking ruined it because I don't like that shit. So she should have just kept singing. I did like this album. I don't have actually that much to say about it other than I fucking liked it. I was surprised that UIM wasn't like popular song because that shit's a big banger. But it's actually like since this is their only album on Spotify, you can just go and see like the most popular songs, and UIM is like 11 of 12. So very interesting.
A bunch of the thing that I really respect about this album is like a bunch of these songs just sound like Evanescence went into the studio, had like an experimental recording session, and was like, "No, they're not ready for this." And then they put them on the shelf, and then 12 years after that recording session, they were like, "Oh yes, this is what the kids will like." It's like dated, but when you think about like where it comes from and like how it operates, it's not really that dated. It's like almost ahead of its time, coming from this fucking region.
Yeah, I mean,
Like take a picture, that kind of like the part where she's just kind of like almost rapping but not really. Like that's like some fucking like 2005 shit.
That shit.
just straight up.
Okay,
it's actually OG shit.
When I was thinking about stuff, I was like, this feels so. That part made me like go like, oh, this feels so new metal.
I really thought I was listening to Paramore. It was just something I don't know.
But I
fuck with it,
liked
though.
it still. That's the thing that got me. It's like I still liked it. That's where I think that I don't know. Because it's kind of hard to like have those kind of things with a bunch. Like when you're gonna play Ghent, it's like you can't like do that much differently without kind of like going too far away from the genre that you're gonna try to identify yourself with.
I think this one did excel in the Ghent. Just by virtue of like it's like Ghent, but it has like pop ballad choruses almost.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because
And that just, like-
maybe coming from the fact that she may or may not have been the runner-up on former Yugoslav
Yeah, like she
Republic
can
Idol.
actually sing really, really well, and she's just
Imagine her
doing
like
like
at her,
pop ballad choruses, and
at her audition, she just busts out like "Take a Picture."
that would be
That's her fucking audition song.
that would be quite something. But yeah, like that juxtaposition, I guess, like works really well.
That juxtaposition.
So funny.
What do you think of the album? What do you think of the album cover, Cameron? I still don't know what the album cover is.
I think it's.
Yo, funny story. The first time I looked at the album cover, I thought this is gonna make no sense because I don't see it anymore. I thought it was like a shrunken, burnt head.
That's what I thought too.
And
It's
really?
like hair.
See, yeah, I thought it was fucking like burnt hair on like a shrunken head almost.
Yeah.
But then I really looked, and so I thought this album was gonna be some fucking weird shit. And
So
then I
kinda
put
weird.
it
It's
on,
weird
and
for
I'm
me.
like, wait, this is just prog metal. It's dark
I
prog.
don't think I go that far.
Dark Who told you those words? Who taught
Like
you
Robert Christgau told me those words. Nah, come on.
Not Chris Cal.
What I want to say, when you think dark prog, just think daughters. If it's not daughters, it's not dark prog.
Just
I would say
relax.
that
It's not a real genre. Hey, relax. We
I
don't
would
need to
say
talk about
I
dark
would
prog.
say that there's few to no progressive elements in this album.
Alexander. This is technically prog metal, but it's okay. It really doesn't matter. This is like normie prog metal, like
I would
normies
agree with
made
that.
prog metal.
Like,
This is
the
like
album.
it's not your dad's prog metal.
Exactly.
like, what? This is not like super. Like the
The only
thing.
thing progressive about it is its social agenda, putting a woman on lead vocals.
No, but so like the things that like defined progressive music when that genre started to form aren't present in this, but it has everything that has become a part of that sphere.
It's new prog metal.
It's
New prog metal.
it's
Is it
prog
new
metal.
prog metal? Or is it prog new metal?
Shit.
Which is more terrifying.
Yo, this might be prog new, but it has too much jaunts. I'm not sure.
Destiny Potato will go down in history as the band that put new prog new metal on the map.
This is really just a genre bending album. You gotta respect it for that alone.
We'll call it
you know?
Prenumet. That'll just be the
New Met.
yeah.
So I like the filter that they have over the image on the album cover. I do like. I'm pretty sure it's just a woman. Like she just has her arms crossed and then she's just shaking her head or some shit. I guess her hair's dyed purple, and then I don't know. She touched like a Van de Graaff generator right before this picture was taken. I think that's how they got it. They have that little symbol like on her.
That's progressive as fuck.
I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, it's super prog. I like it. And then I like the DYO, the Dio. Oh, just like the genre's jump. You know, it all comes together. the DYO on the album covers.
We got to keep it going for a little bit because I got 2 or 3 really good ones coming up.
Yeah. I rate the album cover I'd say I give it like an 8 out of 10. Honestly,
Just a weird cover.
I also give the album an 8 out of 10. So I really liked it. At first, I was just like, "What the fuck?" But then,
And then you were like,
it
"Oh,
got
this
better.
sucks."
Because at first I was like, "There's a bunch of songs that like had like pop ballad choruses, and there are a bunch of songs that didn't." Until I realized that I wasn't actually listening to the album, and that almost every song has them. The only one that like really doesn't is Machine, because that's just like a fucking interlude or some shit.
Right.
That song didn't really need to be there. And then Lunatic, I mean, that song wasn't bad. It was just like it just wasn't the album. And then Lunatic was the album.
Oh, this
but
is
it was
like
dumpster.
the most metal song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like a 2 minutes of like I'm
It's like
assuming
an,
it was
it's
just
like,
the
it's
dude
like an
singing.
Animals as leader instrumental over this bitch's vocals. I respect that. That's the thing I pointed out. Is like this album's got 12 songs, but some of the songs are way more like Genie forward than the other ones. You know,
Genie Ford.
Genie.
Mm. Yeah,
But
How
I
did
got
you
you.
get that from that?
That's,
what did you think?
That's pretty out there.
I don't know. I don't really like it.
Well, I guess that kind of is par for the course with me picking albums.
I don't like the genre of DJ Ant-word.
Ooh.
Yo, you hear about Ninja like beating up women or some shit? I forget.
Tilted Towers.
I forget exactly.
beating up women.
I
forget
thought
exactly what he was confused with. I think he was like manipulating. I don't know. He was doing something.
No, I thought the thing
something-
is that why he has that thing now where he literally doesn't play with girls because he doesn't want to get accused of shit.
Oh, he's had that for a while, I think.
Okay, so is that just the meme? Is like he doesn't play with women, so Ninja fucking marginalizes women or some shit? That's
No,
fucking
I mean it was like a recent girl like was like making a bunch of posts
Oh.
about like how like he's a fucking horrible person.
Well, good-
I didn't
Good luck
look
with
too much
that. He
into
plays
it, but
Fortnite so good. He could
Ninja?
probably do a Fortnite dance in real life.
Oh, what? Fuck.
Anyway,
Oh man, yeah, shout out Ninja. You know,
Cruz
Red
hated
Bull.
it.
Hey.
Didn't hate it. Didn't think it was
Do you
good.
have anything specific to say about?
My favorite part about Gent is when they just do it, and then I don't like how the girls
It's not the
sound.
album for you.
She doesn't. I don't like how they sound really well over what I like to call a funny genre.
Gent is a meme genre.
Yeah, like I
Gent-
don't like my meme genre to be
It's-
taken seriously. Why is there?
It's literally a fucking onomatopoeia.
doing
Like
really
But
well.
That's as meme as it
You gotta
gets.
think about it like this. 2014 is not the heyday for fucking DiGiorno's, right? Like the way that, like, so when they're getting on it, like imagine like this is like their first exposure to it, so they're like, oh, we gotta put it on the map, and then it becomes a meme from there, because they didn't have the whole like 10 years of it already being a meme.
Oh yeah, it
You know?
definitely didn't really become a meme until after this.
Like the internet, and it was just like Alamau,
Yeah.
Meshuggah.
Well, I mean, it kind of was starting to be meme at this time, but like definitely the heyday of the Django Unchained as a meme happened after.
Once the YouTubers got a hold on it, that's when it fucking,
Yeah.
that's where it went to die.
Yeah.
But maybe for the better.
Shout out to the fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
K-Mac 2021. 2021's coming up soon, baby.
But I can respect that.
It's just
Cruz.
the meme genre, and I don't want it to be taken seriously. So the girl should go find a real band.
I think that's interesting.
I thought you were about to say go get like a facelift or
No,
something.
go
I don't
get a
know.
real band that'll give you real money and not that fake. Like,
No, I think it's
digital
interesting
money.
that you're not really into the kind of meme genres and they're taken seriously, because you picked a meme album this week, right?
No, I picked it.
We'll get there.
Oh wait, time out. I was jumping ahead.
Don't be.
I would have to agree with Cameron on the general take on this album. It was something that when I first started listening, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then, as I settle in, I was like, "Okay, I can get down."
Well, when I'm listening to the songs, I imagine reading the guitar tabs and just it being completely incomprehensible. And not only because I've never touched a guitar in my life,
I was gonna
I
say.
actually have, but I can't play guitar at all. So all tabs are incomprehensible. I imagine these are especially like just some bullshit on a page.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to say firsthand. I imagine that it could definitely get worse. But
Yeah,
but that's not
I mean-
really a metric.
I'm not, like so skilled that I would know just from listening to it, but none of this seemed particularly disgusting to play.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why I
if
say
you-
that's why I say that it's not really like that progressive, because it's not
Like-
like there's not
Yeah.
that much like. I don't want to say there's not that much musicality, because there's obviously like there's still some, and like especially on the vocal end, there's a lot of like shit going on that I wouldn't be able to replicate. But at the same time, it's
If
not like
only I could.
this isn't like Dream Theater.
Yeah, it's not time signature change
Yeah.
central, right? But like the thing,
They're
like
just genting.
that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Where it's like, at first progressive metal was metal, but with time signature bullshit and
Yeah.
other stuff, and then at some point, like progressive metal became that, but with synthesizers and gent.
That's
And
true,
then-
actually. Yeah.
And now at this point, you can take away the stuff that was originally there and just leave the synthesizers and gent, and you still are
Yeah.
progressive metal.
Well, now, especially recently, it's been like I said earlier, about more like progressive in the social sense. Like Animals as leaders, got a black
Yeah.
guy as the fucking frontman. Destiny Potatoes got a Eastern
they
European
do?
lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tosin Abasi.
I didn't know that. Wait,
Top
Tosin.
Yeah, Tosin.
Tosin died like a bitch in Bleach. That shit was unfortunate. He got squashed like a fucking bug. He turned into like this bug nigga, and he could finally see. And then he got weaker. It was don't get me started on
That
Bleach.
shit
Holy
bugs me. But yeah, Tosin Abasi
Me too.
of Animals as Leaders fame is he's not even African American. I don't think he's Nigerian American. which I guess is African American. I think I don't even know. I don't even know if he's American for sure. I know he's like Nigerian something, Nigerian prince. But anyway, does anybody else have any other comments about Loon?
I like there are a lot of good riffs on this. I like the riff from Addict. I like the riff that opens.
Such a good riff, right?
I like the riff that opens and closes Lost Stream, which is kind of the riff is when I was first listening to it, I thought it was like a really weird riff because like the really like the guitar sound combined with like it does like a run up and down of the scale that's just like it just feels really weird, but I really liked it after listening to it again.
When I was listening to it, go ahead, sorry.
And yeah, there's some other good ones, but those are the ones that really stick out to me.
When I was listening to it this album this week, I was just like replaying the first minute of Addict like a lot, so I didn't have to listen to the whole 7 minutes. But
Right.
I really like that opening bit, and then they have like that Middle Eastern like thing in the middle of the opening part, which I thought was weird because I don't think anybody's from the Middle East really. I don't even know what instrument that is. Like, I don't know if it.
I mean, that's very like I feel like that's probably actually like an Eastern European thing, right? Like,
or maybe it can. There's maybe overlap.
There like
because like Turkey's like right there.
A small brain.
That stuff does have like a lot of overlap when you like.
Because it's just like gypsy.
If you're
it's
not
just
actually
like
super familiar with it, yeah.
It's like their folk music, so it's just kind of like, but it's like their folk music for like half the world.
Yeah.
That's true. That just reminded me of like watching some fucking old cartoon, and then like there's a scene where they're riding a camel, and like they're gonna play those fucking noises. But anyway, anybody else have anything else they wanted to add? How did the predictions look?
The predictions. Well, I think I predicted Cruz kind of right. Cruz didn't give a score, but he doesn't.
Cruz doesn't give scores, yeah.
But
that felt like a 5 to me.
I predicted that he would be very indifferent to it and give it a 5. I actually thought that Cameron would also be indifferent to it, and I predicted like a 5 or 6 for him. So that's the surprising one. And then,
right. Yeah, it is weird.
Well, you're gonna continue to be surprised this
like this is like the way that we look, the way that I look at this is like Cameron's black dresses pick, or like Cameron's fucking like way out there pick. Like this isn't that for me, and it's not even remotely close. It's not even on the same wavelength.
Yeah. This is out there for you, but it's not actually like some crazy.
Shit. It's out there when you think about it in the context of the shit that I spend most of my time listening to.
I love that. Oh, I click on the album page on Rate Your Music. The first review is by a female.
Which one? Of Destiny Potato or one of the other ones?
Of one.
Oh, jeez. Does it have positive things to say?
Yeah. She gave it a 9.
Jesus Christ.
I just thought it was amusing that it was, I don't know, female.
Are you perhaps being a sexist?
No.
I'm actually surprised I'm actually impressed that she's able to use a computer like that.
Yeah, that's getting edited.
Maybe she got her husband to help her. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
Let's look at her 10 out of 10s.
Yeah. She's probably not, though.
Ooh, the 2015 Traverses album. Wait. KDA Pop Stars.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
That's not even a meme, dude. I gave fucking Smite and Ignite like a 9.5.
Those are not.
They're not comparable, honestly. So we got 3 other albums. What's next?
Yeah, what's the least?
And Mesmerized Tenant. Wait, this is a patrician list.
Let's do Cruz next.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Cruz,
I feel like Cruz never goes second.
Well, to continue the tradition of twos, this is the second week in a row that I've picked an album that came out 2 days before we recorded the podcast. Isn't that wacky?
Not really. Did this album come out that early?
Who is he? Who is this guy?
Who is he? His name's Stefan.
How did he get in the studio?
Yeah,
do you want me to intro the fucking album?
Huh?
No, do you want me to intro the album?
No, Cruz isn't introing it.
We have a fucking peanut gallery every 4 seconds.
Sorry, I have a smooth brain.
His name is Stefan. He's from Toronto. The rest of the band is his friends from elementary school.
Are they still in elementary school?
Yes.
That actually.
Oh, does that make sense? To tell me about how to make friends from elementary school makes sense. I want to hear this.
That's not what it's... Okay, just intro the album. Just tell me about the...
I thought Cruz was gonna intro the
I
album.
thought you already introduced the album. It's the third
Cruz,
studio album
Cruz.
of the punk band PUP. New Wave Punk. I thought it was pretty decent. It's their best album. Has their weaker songs. It's better. It's like a decent cohesive unit compared to their other albums. But it doesn't have like. It only has like a couple bangers. So it's pretty alright.
Yeah, this album has no bangers. It has no like actual bangers. Like the worst song of this album is about the same as the best song of this album, but there is no like Sleep in the Heat, Reservoir, Dark Days, or DVP. So, but as an album, it might be the best. I think their best album is probably still their first one if it had a better album cover.
True.
But the album cover's trash, so it's only 8 out of 10. Unfortunate. It would literally probably be a 9 if the album cover better. I said that this album was also 9 out of 10, but it's an 8 now after listening to it more. So all their albums are 8 out of 10s, which is cute. What else? This album had less emphasis on just like fucking power choruses, and like he does a lot of like talking, like on Kids in Full Blown Meltdown. He does a lot of troll shit. See You at Your Funeral, he does some troll shit. But See You at Your Funeral had the best lines on the album, so
True.
This shit's bonkers. What else? I thought the mixing felt weird, and that's part of the reason why like it didn't really have bangers. Was just I don't know, something was wrong with the mix, but I'm not sure what. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it besides the album cover, but I'll do that later.
There's before they released the album, they released one of the songs, and they told people to make renditions of it. So they released like all the chords and then the lyrics, but like you put like different drum lines and like
Yes, it's called the cover cruise.
Yes. Wow.
I thought we were gonna wait to talk about the cover.
Really fucking funny people. And there was this one kid who didn't memorize anything, and I think he was about 11, and he would just like he would figure out what the chord was, strum it, say a couple words, move to the next chord. Fucking animal. He
That's a madman.
he fucking sent it in, and then they clipped him in. That shit was too funny. Especially next to like all the people who like really tried, and then you got your boy out here. He recorded his electric guitar acoustically. He didn't even record. He just strummed it.
Hey, dog, he's like 11, dog.
Yeah, he's out here.
Doesn't give a fuck. He's big out there.
Well, that's
I respect it.
Wow.
It's a good video.
I thought
let's hear it.
Was pretty okay. This is like Cruz does this thing where he picks an album and it's like it's all right.
It's not actually like usually when you pick something you haven't listened to, really like.
Oh no, I didn't listen to it before I picked it.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that it would probably be a good idea to pick something that you think would actually be like spicy.
Yeah. Like when I did a legendary thing on the old podcast where I picked this great album called Super Discount that I had not listened to. It was something that was spicy and interesting, right? But this is just like cruise music. It's cruise music.
God.
Like
that's what it is.
If you've listened. So, like, I'm assuming you've listened to their previous albums because you guys have been talking back and forth about that. So, like,
yes.
So obviously you had an idea of what this would be. So, like, you knew that, like, this would be roughly what it is, even if you didn't know, like, whether or not it would be.
Well, Cruz has apparently only heard a couple of songs, so.
I don't think I've listened.
Cruz literally just looked up what albums came out 2 days ago and then picked this one.
That's
He told me. He sent me a DM. He sent me an email.
Yeah.
An email.
He actually, no, he mentioned it on his radio show, so I was the only one who heard it.
Well, anyway, yeah, I
Like,
love
hair loss.
pop punk music. Yes. This is like a 6 out of 10. I can't. It's okay. So I didn't care for any of the times where you like say things instead of sing.
I only thought it was cringe on kids and
Kids is so good. Kids is like a worse
it's
version
only the
of,
very
like,
first thing where he says where like he's saying something about godless existence because you can
it's
hear
so
his accent.
cringy.
It's only because you can hear his accent.
No, I didn't even notice that he had an accent. And I could still thought.
Oh
it was
no,
cringy.
it's so obvious he's Canadian there. It's interesting.
But yeah, I did not like the speaking parts. The everything was like relatively good sounding and catchy. I can't like mentally distinguish most of these songs from each other. And yeah, it's alright. It's just alright.
I will say that out of all like the new wave punk bands, being like Waves and Fiddler and like Best Coast and niggas like that, I like PUP the most by far. Every Waves album is a 7 out of 10. Every Fiddler album, except their newest one, is a 7 out of 10. Their newest one's like a 6 probably. I haven't actually like put up the rating. There's actually a Waves collab album that's a 9, but it's a collab, so it doesn't really count. So yeah, like PUP's it's just better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but they are. And
the other ones are kind of hard to listen to, I think. Taylor guys.
Damn.
But,
Yeah, I've mostly grown out of the this phase, 'cause that started when I just like in high school. I just found like Fiddler's first album, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? But I've kind of grown out of it, but I still like it. But it's interesting at least.
Are those other bands also like on the pop punkier side of stuff?
No, they're less pop punk and more just like
not.
they're more just like considered like skate punk or surf punk.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's not exactly the same thing, but I lump them all together.
You know, like I will say that like it's not impossible for me to like hear something that's like pop punk or punk in general and love it. Like I love the Jeff Rosenstock albums, which are like I would say pop punk predominantly. But it's like I don't know. It's like Jeff has like such defined like he's just such a good songwriter, so great at making like memorable hooks, and is also like great at like putting like interesting instrumental stuff into his songs too.
Dog, let's be honest, it's basically a meme genre.
Oh yeah, it's 100% a meme genre, but it's just like
Gen for fucking teenagers.
it's
undeveloped genters.
The thing that I figured out about this genre of music is that this genre of music is the greatest thing ever from the ages of like 14 to 17, and
Pretty
then
much.
like 28 to 31. So what I mean by
Oh,
that,
like when you come back to it and you're like,
yeah, that's the thing. So the people who are 14 to 17 listening to Green Day when it came out, and like stuff, and like and Blink-182 and shit in like the mid to late 2000s were like, man, this shit was so good, wasn't it? And they were just like not listening to any of the other shit that came out that sounds the exact same because this genre is just a genre of copycats and who has the catchiest song.
literally.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just kind of the whole genre, but it's like
It makes it fun. It's just a huge battle of who can come up with the best hook.
And the thing about it that I actually respect a lot is that if you really think about like the biggest pop punk bands and their biggest hits, like if you like go and do a deep dive on any of them, their biggest hit is like the most different song in their whole fucking catalog most of the time too. Or like obviously a lot of them have more than one big hit, but like when you really think about shit like I don't know, like some of the shit that like Green Day was putting out, and then you listen to some of the other shit that Green Day put out, it's like goddamn good thing that these fucking songs got popular and these other ones didn't.
In the words of some rapper whose name I don't remember, I walk a lonely road, nigga Green Day.
Yeah. Think about like teenagers in the context of the rest of My Chemical Romance. And like I would say that Welcome to the Black Parade's a little more similar, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, it really is like when you really think about it, it's like more of a departure than you would have had if you had like, if Helena had been the only song that My Chemical Romance ever put out that was popular.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things. I think that punk music in almost every form is kind of a waste of time. But I think some of it can. I think that's fucking rude to say. I think that some of it can be really catchy. The songs "Bloody Mary, Kate and Ashley" and "Scorpion Hill" made it into the NFGB rehash playlist.
Damn.
Those songs saved this fucking album. I really don't like the way he sings because he sings one way, and there's nothing wrong with singing one way, but singing one way with this kind of music and then having the occasional break to speak some activism is, I don't think, a really efficient
He
use.
kind of sang a little different on the first album. He did more yelling, just straight up like shouting.
Well, that would have
There's
made
gonna
me
be a lot more yelling.
that would have made me like it less, probably.
Yeah.
And I also
Yeah,
don't
maybe.
like. I mean, I know this is more punk than it really is anything else, but I kind of like when stuff that's in like the punk and emo vein is like slower. Like I don't like you guys talking about the bangers like on some of the other shit. Like I don't really actually like when it gets like super fast. I've listened to a little bit of Fiddler, Fiddler has some stuff like
You saw him
kind of-
live.
I did see them live. I witnessed.
Yeah,
them
Fiddler
perform
has some
live.
slower stuff.
But then and then they had like some faster stuff where I'm like, oh boy, I need to put my seatbelt on for this shit. That's just kind of how that's why I like Joyce Manor. Like I know that's more emo than it is like punk adjacent to this, but it's like kind of in the same vein. But they do a lot more of like the slower stuff. Yeah, I just don't know. Pups. I like the song DVP though. That's a good song.
That song is
I
amazing,
got
and
put on that shit. I got put on that shit recently.
they'll probably never make a song better than DVP or Dark Days or
And that's a
Reservoir
fast
or
song that I
Sleep in the
like.
Heat.
But
Yeah, that song's fast as fuck.
I found out that like the older I get, the less I really identify with like the lyrical sentiments of most punk rock and emo music. Like 2 years ago when I was like on that Remo train, I was like, God damn, dude, Remo Drive really knows what I'm going through. And then like 2 years later, I'm like, damn, dude, I can listen to like 2 songs on this album anymore. Which is kind of sad because I really liked that album a lot. But at the same time, it's like, geez, dude. Same thing with Joyce Manor. Like I was listening to their self-titled album like twice a day, every day for like a year straight. And now I'm like, God damn, dude, like I'm not a fucking virgin. Or rather, I am a fucking virgin. I can't relate to any of this shit.
Goddamn.
But I thought that Bloody Mary, Kate and Ashley was probably the best song on the album because that was the one that really, to me, had like the most, like, just unapologetically and like aggressively catchy kind of vibe. And I just like, are you Ashley or Mary Kate? Like, I just like asking, like, just the idea that you would ask somebody that question, like in any context.
Well, one is reminded of the
blue face picture.
The video of Mary Kate and Ashley dancing her to Tatiana.
Yeah, that's all I could think about when I heard this. When I looked at the title of this song for the first time, I was like, God damn, dude. I didn't want to bring it up in case you weren't ready to speak about it.
I'm ready to speak about that at any time.
But I thought that was really catchy. I'm not a huge... I gave it a 6, but it really would have been like a 4, but Scorpion Hill and Bloody Mary, Kate and Ashley are like really good songs in my opinion. I really like those songs. And it wasn't like... I couldn't tell any of the songs apart, like for the most part, except for the ones that I liked.
Same.
But it wasn't like, man, I can't tell any of this shit apart. It's garbage. It was like, man, I can't tell any of this shit apart. So I could just pick any song and I would probably like it.
Yeah.
So
my favorite songs are Sibling Rivalry and Bare Hands, but
or be indifferent to it at the least. And there was some like really fast alternate strumming and like some tremolo stuff, but it wasn't like nearly as like, I don't know, it wasn't like a surf punk thing where that's like that's all that carries the whole fucking album. So I don't know. I gave it a 6. It's probably more like a 5.5, but I was in a good mood when I listened to it. So rather than rounding down, I kind of rounded up. And I know I've listened to like one PUP EP, I think, in the past, but I could be wrong. Like I definitely heard something by them before. Maybe Cruz played a song of theirs on Rocksmith or something that I heard. But it's like that kind of music. It's Cruz streaming Rocksmith to 5 viewers kind of music. Like that's the genre actually.
Dude,
Damn.
The people who stream don't stream the hits, dude.
They don't stream the hits.
They actually just stream fucking
They
Gen.
just play Avenged Sevenfold.
They just play Gen. Yeah. Anything with like, the top string being too low.
Yeah, it's like if I was gonna watch that shit, why wouldn't I just watch a Guitar Hero stream?
True.
Because I'll tell you one thing, dude. They'll like you request. Okay, rant. I used to watch a lot of these Guitar Hero, Clone Hero, like Rock Band streams, and I would go and I would request fucking "Hot for Teacher" by Van Halen like twice in like a 3-day span, and they'd be like, "Man, we just played that song the other day." And in that stream, I would hear the same Avenged Sevenfold song like 11 times because everybody who
Goddamn.
watches those streams is either like 12 and just getting into metal and like Avenged Sevenfold,
Just getting in the middle.
or is like 35 and Avenged
Yeah.
Sevenfold was the shit when they were like just getting out of college.
I feel so bad for any Zoomer. Like that's like 13 right now, just discovering metal.
If you're trying to get into metal, listen to "Lung" by Destiny.
They might revive it though, low key. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, they might make the prog new metal.
Yeah,
Or the dark
everyone,
rock
listen to Destiny Potato. Take
Yeah,
the
listen to
lesson.
copy that shit.
Take a hybrid of.
I don't know how you're supposed to copy that singing, but good luck.
Take up. So what you got to do is you have to take like the Venn diagram of Destiny Potato and then the most recent Daughters album and find the overlap and just expand on that, and you could win a Nobel Prize.
That's Nobel Prize worthy.
You take that Venn diagram. You add a slight extra circle, not all the way in, so it's just barely crossing the center. Death grips, and you make
Death grips, and then on the other side,
and what you have made is darkest prog.
and then on the other side, and then on the other side, you throw in like a little bit of like you like pull a rabbit out of a hat. You like put like a bunch of bands in a hat. You just pull one out. And then some of the bands you have in there, you have like Taylor Swift, or you have like you have like Tool or like Primus or something. So it just gets weird. Or maybe you get really fucking adventurous and you pull one out and it's like Bob Dylan or something, and it's like how the fuck are you gonna? It's like how do you even make this work? It's like then it turns into like an art project.
So
have Jacob Collier and Drake executive produce it.
Oh my god, yeah, and then have Varg in the studio.
Have Varg in the studio.
Yeah. Have
Varg.
Have Varg like track bass. Like that's all he does. He just plays bass. Don't let him write anything, and don't let him get in your like. And recording
bands in the hat your influence. Well, one band in the scene, each band in the scene only gets one of those, and that's how you distinguish them. It's like, yeah,
right. So you have and then you make the name of your band like just the hybrid between like Destiny Potato, Daughters, Death Grips, and then the band that you got.
Yeah.
So it would be like Destiny, Daughters, Grip, and then it'd be like Day
Dylan.
For Green Day. Yeah, or Dylan or something. Or you'd have like the daughter of the Death Potato Puppy, and that'd be like this album's influence.
Holy shit!
Anyway,
that's an abomination. 6 out of
6 out of 10, but the idea we get out of it,
11 out of 10. Priceless, honestly.
How did the prediction stack up, Jack?
The
resident.
I got you dead on, but Cameron, I anticipated going a bit lower than he did.
I told you the score.
I knew Cameron had a 9 on the.
What do you mean? You told me the score?
I literally, when we picked the albums, I said what the score was.
I didn't remember that, so it doesn't matter.
No brain.
I knew what Cameron gave it because when I went.
This is literally like one of my favorite bands.
I don't know that shit.
This is why we do the prediction thing so that we can educate each other. I knew that Cameron gave it a 9 on Rate Your Music only because I went to look up what the people had defined the genre as, so I could, when I had my own personal like portfolio to put it in, I could do it accurately. But I think he said he changed it down to an 8.
Yeah, because I listened to it the first time the day of the podcast because I saw that it came out. I gave it a 9. Y'all niggas.
Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add?
I don't think I talked about the album cover yet.
Oh, you didn't. You were gonna say that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think the album title's bad, by the way. Just irrelevant, but I think it's a stupid album title.
I think it's cool. I like the little art style of the cover, and I like how it blends in nicely with the pink background.
That's the only thing I don't like about the album cover is that I feel like if I didn't know anything about PUP.
Oh yeah, you think this is completely different?
No. I would look at the album cover and I would know exactly what it was going to sound like.
Really?
Yeah, it's either going to be like.
I probably get it completely wrong.
When you have album covers like this, your options are either it's going to be like some punk or punk adjacent, or it's going to be like You Won't Get What You Want, Daughters, where it's like the album cover like kind of explains what you're going to get yourself into, but you really just get thrown for a loop. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that doesn't make as much sense to outside of me, but like I definitely would think punk if I saw this. Like this is some shit that like people that I'm friends with on Facebook would listen to. Or they do that thing where they just post the album cover, like the song I was listening to on Spotify, and it's supposed to be like, oh wow, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, then like here's like you can be impressed by my music taste. And it would totally be like the most popular song on this album, like "See You at Your Funeral" or some shit. Or I guess "Kids" is the most popular song on the album, but you know what I mean.
Quite.
That's just because that was a single.
Yeah, true.
Like the pre-single, so
Maybe that'll replace the "I'm just a kid" trope in like the new age of coming of age movies.
I'm just a kid.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Maybe it's a white people thing.
It must be.
I know Cruz knows what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Cruz has been silent for a
song,
little
I'm Just
minute.
a Kid by was it Simple Plan or
I'm just a kid.
yeah,
I'm
that one.
just a
And
kid.
every
You haven't seen the Simpsons Way video? That's all I'm thinking about.
no.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
thinking
just
about too.
every single movie that is about like a kid who's either just getting into high school or like move somewhere new. When he's getting bullied and then he's like really depressed and then that's when he meets the girl that makes it better for him. They literally just play a montage of him getting bullied and then play that song.
This is some white people shit.
It's definitely yeah. I guess for the other half it'd be like
What is
like
the
Ice
Simple
Cube, It
Plan
Was a Good
song?
Day or something.
I'm just a kid.
Yeah, I am, and that one. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I know that is not fair because he's alone in the world and every. Yeah.
This sounds fucking terrible.
It's like the song came out in like 2002 or something. Like it's that era. It's just anyway. Regardless, that could be the new age of that. So PUP has that to look forward to. They'll be relevant in 10 years for that reason alone.
Wonderful.
I don't think it has a real impact. Unlike Simple Plan. Simple Plan has huge impact on generations.
Speaking of huge impact, we got to tell you guys a story after the podcast.
Oh Lord.
I'm taking names. All right, what do we want to do next? Which one do you think is...
I'll go next because I have a feeling like that Cameron's is being treated as the spicy one this week.
That might be accurate.
So the album I picked, Phantasma by Cornelius. Cornelius, he is a Japanese guy who he was in a band. I think he was the guitarist in Flipper's Guitar. Yeah, he was the guitarist of Flipper's Guitar and the vocalist, and that was a band that was doing like kind of pop rock stuff in the like early 90s, and then he went solo, started making stuff, and this album came out in 98. The version of the album that we listened to, which has the 4 bonus tracks,
Yikes,
is like the version that was I think 2016 or something. Like there have been various versions of this album with different like bonus tracks, where like it's always these bonus tracks, but like some of them only have like 2 or 3 of them or stuff. I didn't want to like. I'd been meaning to pick this album for a while, but I was always worried about it because it is with the bonus tracks a fairly long album, but I didn't want to cut them because I think they're all pretty good. So yeah, I found this album on Mew. It's not a Mewcore album, but like it comes up very, very often.
I've seen
on
it.
people's charts. Like if you like, very often you'll just like look at someone's chart and
it's hard to forget this disgusting ass album cover. If you see it, I'll get to it.
Yeah. So after listening to it, I kind of became fascinated with it because it's really it's really interesting to me for the way it works, sampling into what is basically a pop rock album, kind of. Like, it's that's what like the great strength of this has always been to me. Like,
I'll fuck with pop rock. Give it a billion. That shit's trash.
I mean, I would say it's like
you just put like
mostly...
the fucking powder in your mouth. It's bad. Like why?
I hate you so much.
Encore.
All you had to say was say your fucking. You didn't get it.
Everybody's a
Encore.
Encore.
Some more hats in the air.
Cornelius, more like Cornelius.
Yeah, I think that the sampling is executed very well, and I think that the album has a lot of like great like moments that are created by the combination of like a vocal hook and a sample. And I used to kind of think that like it was that like there were only like a few actual good songs and like the rest of it was just like these sample collages. But like the more I listen to it, like the more like every song on the album becomes like a defined thing of its own that like I think is like a great piece of music.
An achievement for that.
Like there's like one or two songs that are mostly just like sample transitions, but like those are the shortest songs of the album, so it's like, and they work, they're good. So yeah. It's on you guys now.
All right, so you were right, Jack. The last song is the best song.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
But I was also right. That means that the album's bad. So the problem is this album is absolutely infuriating. So most of the time, like almost all of the time, the music's actually good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it trolls you. It trolls you every step of the way. It has just the most abrupt song changes. Like between Clash and Count 5, it just ends. Clash is a really good song and it just fucking cuts it off. I was sitting there shaving just angry. Like what? Same thing between tracks 2 and 3. The shit just cuts off. They even do like the little between Clash and Count 5. It's just like and then he goes on to do like the vocal melody at the end of Clash at the beginning of Count 5. So you could have just had a real fucking like chill transition, but you decided to troll me. It seems like a lot of the choices they made on this album were particularly designed to make me angry, right? Like they have the radio tuner bullshit. And usually I like radio tuner bullshit, but here is fucking bad. I don't know why. It was just bad. All right. Album's too long. It could have been good if they just made like actual songs and didn't like troll. There's one song, I forget which one, where it cut, like the song cut between two different songs, just back and forth. Like it was just two completely different songs. I don't remember which one. It might have been like
Chapter 8, Seashore and Horizon.
Chapter 8? Yeah, that one. That was stupid shit. What else? Yeah, I mean like most of the time it was actually like nice to listen to, but it just got ruined by the spooky shit they did. I am mildly comforted to see that on Rate Your Music, the stupid shit that they did is the reason why that people like the album, because at least like if you like the album for the reason why I dislike it, then it's like alright, you know, there's nothing to say. It's just like that's alright, you know. The problem comes when niggas like it for some stupid shit that is just like in their heads. But that's not the case here. Album cover is disgusting. The orange and white is the grodiest color combination I've seen in my entire life. In the whole life. I swear to God. All the bonus tracks are good, but it doesn't save the album because all it does is just make it longer. So like it balances out. It doesn't. It gets the same points either way, but for the purpose of rating, like I decided after like the first, second listen that I just pretend that they didn't exist because I don't pretend that bonus tracks exist for anything else. So just to be consistent, Time Right Lesson is God tier. I only realized at my very last listen, like earlier tonight, that he's saying like actual things, like 3-letter like organizations and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't catch that the other times I listened to it, but I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's a fun song. It got saved. That song low-key might go in Eternal Bangers just to troll, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't mind it just coming on as like a palate cleanser.
like a sex song where you only stroke on like each letter. So when he says space,
Yeah.
F B
E
I
I
Space.
T.
I've actually seen when I'm out and about like those kind of old instructional records that are like learn how to play bongos and shit, which is like a lot of the stuff that's in this type of genre. You have a lot of those kind of things. Those are fucking cool, dude. I've never seen a typewriting one before. I've only ever seen them with like instruments or like practical skills. Like I saw
it's
one
like the
for,
fitness pacer test.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Type shit.
But there's a whole
Yes.
album I remember. I heard like 5 or 10 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. That was like it was just all like every song was like a different instrument. That was just a bunch of cut up things from like, learn how to play guitar, learn how to play bass, and it was cool. It's an interesting concept to do it with the fucking typing. I'm assuming it's like an actual record. Because I know it's not like Plunderphonics, where it's like I know he's got some of his
I don't
own
know why they
shit.
have KKK in there, but it might be.
I was afraid when that came on because I thought he was gonna say something else. I was like, oh god, let's not get a second one. It's a second one. I'm like, oh god, is the third one gonna happen? It really puts you in suspense.
Mm-hmm. I was half expecting KKB, but didn't give it to me.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
So it's only about 2 decades too early for that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, especially if I remember correctly, I think the one right before it is KGB. So I was like, oh, we're gonna get another thing, and it's like K.
No, I think it's YKK.
That's what it is. Because it was the same thing. Yeah, that's what it was. You're right.
Yeah. Which I actually have YKK zippers. For my little laundry bags where I put the color things.
The horses in the bag.
I got the horses in the bag.
It's stuck in my head, dude. I can't get it out. You do like twice today. Great. I'm sorry. Continue, guys.
What did you think?
What did you think, Cruz?
Typewriter Lesson is one of the greatest songs ever created, and if there is a God, he will let him go into heaven after he presses space. But it's so good. It's like I don't even remember the rest.
Way
Like
too
I
good.
remember the first song, Trolling. I think I didn't like when he sang or people sang like quietly or like regularly. I didn't really like that. I like the palette cleansers. I like transitions. I think they're nice. I think the album's kind of, I don't know, just fun. I guess I kind of like the album cover. I think it's all right.
I think the album cover is fine too.
But Typewriter Lesson is just so good. I remember liking New Music Machine also. There's just a lot of like things you can notice in each song, and I like that. I think it's nice. Yeah, that was pretty good.
So, and what may be the surprise of the week? This is the best album of the week. Not to spoil what we have to come, but this album,
I'm not particularly surprised.
I think that if we were gonna just take this on an objective basis and we looked at the genres and we looked at the album length, there's no reason this shouldn't be a 2 from me, right? Like everything adds up.
I would not guess that this would be a 2.
If you looked at the album length, we would know that it would at least not be above a 5.
Well, the thing is, like,
knowing me,
I know that we've had. I'm pretty sure you've said that you've liked the Avalanches before, which is much more dance oriented and a lot heavier with samples. But like this is still not very far from that, honestly.
I was gonna say, so what this album went from a 2 to a 10 to an 8. Okay, it was a 2, and then I had a spiritual...
so you actually gave it a 2 on the first listen?
Well, the first like almost half of the album's not that great, and then I had a religious experience. I had like a Cameron experience listening to this album, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked that nobody's actually mentioned. Typewriter Lesson is a banger, and it's a fantastic song. But the greatest song on the album, and quite possibly one of the greatest songs of the last 20 years, is track 7, Starfruit Surf Rider.
Wait, but it wasn't in the last 20 years, by the way.
The last 21 years.
22?
All I'm saying is I was like, man, it's another fucking Jack Electronic album. And then track 7, and then I basically had like a flashback, right, to me playing League of Legends in like 2000 and the summer between 9th and 10th grade, playing League of Legends, listening to Pandora, and the first time I ever heard ever listened to anything that was like trip hop or plunderphonics or any kind of people doing anything with electronic stuff that's not just like all electronic. Like I never heard sample music before until I was like 14. Shit changed my life for like a year, and that's all I listened to, and then I stopped listening to it. And then, Jack decides to put in this fucking album into the podcast. And Starfruit Surf Rider come on, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. And I don't know. It's one of those things where I couldn't figure out what the fuck he was saying, so I had to alt tab to look at it. Because I was like, oh, this is weird, and I found out he was Japanese afterwards, and I'm like, okay, it makes a little more sense. But I just think, God, I don't even know what to say. The drums are incredible, the vibe is incredible, everything about that song is insane. And everything on this album. And then I went back and listened to it again, and I realized that the first half of the album wasn't bad. I was just obsessed with my predisposition to an hour and 9 minutes. And I think it's incredible. I think it's a very chill album. I think it's an album that's music to listen to. It's music to put on, and there's some songs you can bop with. I think that there's definitely some like flexy kind of songs, especially for the time. It feels like there's some stuff that's in there that's like this is like my technical song. Then you have some stuff that's like here's if I tried to make like a love ballad in the style of like, but you still have my same restrictions I had for the rest of the album, right? It's just incredible. I think Cornelius is like you click on it and you like look at a picture of it and you're like, that doesn't look like a Cornelius to me. And I thought it was interesting that the location where they have the most people that listen to it on Spotify is Mexico City, Mexico, for this artist at least, just like in general. I just thought that was interesting. I know there's a lot of people like in that region, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, Mexico City, huh? But this is an 8. This is a fantastic album. It's one of the best albums that Jack's picked in recent weeks. I think this is the best album we've had from Jack since yeah, it's the best album we've had from Jack since the podcast started now. Since fucking what's the one Arctic Monkeys, which is a while ago, but I thought this was really good, and it fucking shocked me because I was like, wow, hour and 9 minutes on a non-sanctioned long albums week, yikes. And then, and it may also have something slightly to do with the order I listened to all the albums in, because in the first round, this is the last album I listened to, and the album that I listened to just prior to this, I had some opinions on. But then I listened to it again, and I'm like, this is good. And I like the album cover a lot, actually. I think orange and white's not as grody of the color combination as Cameron makes it out to be. And I like the kind of visual effect of him, like the cigarette smoke is the name of the
album. It's grody there.
And I also
probably it's less grody in other ways.
But I like the fact that it doesn't actually have the artist name on it, so you might think that Phantasm was like the artist name.
Yeah.
But
I like the cover a lot. The
white and he doesn't look Asian.
I just don't like it's like an orange and white Voltorb, except with some bullshit in the middle.
I was thinking it's like almost the exact same color palette of Channel Orange, isn't it? Yeah, it's the same. It's like I mean, obviously there's not a picture on it, but it's like pretty much the same kind of. The white's a little less.
The color
the white's
scheme
a little
to
less
me
extreme.
reminds me of.
Well, your Channel Orange isn't a good album cover either. So
I'm just saying.
The color scheme reminds me of when I was young, and I would go to my grandparents. My grandparents had like a beach house on the eastern coast of Maryland, and there was a boardwalk in Ocean City there. And on the boardwalk there was these like great ice cream with like shops that